Okay, we have made it. This is day 4 of EPRV 5. Thank you so much to everyone for coming all day, every day throughout this week. I hope it has been an exciting and enjoyable conference for all of you. I have a few wrap-up slides that I thought would be fun to go over. The first is this conference had 247 participants from 22 different countries. That's 190 of us in person and another 50 or 60 folks online. This is almost double, I think a little more than double the number of participants from EPRV 4. To be fair, that's not an entirely fair comparison because there was a location-based cap on the number of folks who could attend, because who doesn't want to go talk about stars in the Alps? I imagine that conference would have been much bigger if we had allowed it to be. But I think this is a lovely sign of how much our field is growing, how many early career folks we have joining us, and the fact that clearly EPRV is on its way up. We had 15 different instrument presentations and even more that had to be relegated to posters because we literally didn't have enough time in the day for them. And so I think it's been really nice to see the variety of spectrograph designs, wavelength coverages, the types of telescopes that we're on as we grow to more and more facilities. And there was a really nice increasing focus on open source software and community development. So the number of folks who gave amazing talks about what their software is able to do, either in a pre or post processing thing, and then said, and it's on my GitHub, so you can go download it for yourself, or email me and I'm happy to help you learn how to use it, is a really encouraging step and a really welcoming space, I think, for this community to be moving towards. So I laud everyone who is taking those steps, putting in the time and the effort, because it's a non-trivial thing to make your code accessible to other people, to document it well enough that someone else can actually pick it up and do something with it. So kudos to all of you who are making that happen. We are tackling the many challenges of this field from all directions. We heard a lot over the last few days of just how scary many of the challenges that we're facing are, but hearing the talks, looking at this from a hardware point of view, an observational survey design point of view, data reduction, simulations, solar studies, models of these stars, I think we are taking a very well-rounded approach. And that bodes really well for being able to overcome many of the hurdles that we're facing right now. We had a full session on solar results, which is a thing that hasn't happened at any of the previous EPRV conferences. And so yet again, a nice look at what we're advancing towards, what we are realizing is important to us as a field. And so I'm excited to see that move forward, maybe involving even more heliophysics folks in future conferences. We move towards more physics-driven models of what the stellar activity is doing in our RV data. And how exciting that we needed an other category, a miscellaneous in our schedule, right? We have advanced to the point, we have grown and integrated so much with the astrophysics community that there are now talks that fall outside of the traditional kind of silos of what EPRV means. I think that's a really interesting and exciting development for us. We had amazing presentations from early career folks over all areas of EPRV. So instrument talks, software talks, planet detection talks, stellar astrophysics talks, including stand-up. Sorry again to Sarah for that, but thank you for handling it like a champ. And a fantastic set of talks from our poster winners just now. Can we get one more round of applause for our poster winners? These 4 people made talks with 24 hours notice, and every single one of them knocked it out of the park, which is very impressive. I do think that maybe at the next meeting, we need to request a poster making tutorial from Jacob, because as I was writing this talk, I was looking back at the EPRV 4 website and noticed that he also won the poster competition then. So I think maybe you're a ringer now and aren't allowed to apply anymore. But kudos for doing it twice in a row. That's very impressive. Okay, I'm trying to keep this short and sweet. So some final logistics for those folks who are interested in coming to the RCN Collab Day tomorrow. We're starting at 9 a.m. again. We'll have coffee and snacks like we have the other day, starting at 8:15 a.m. This is why the RSVPs were so important. So thank you for the people who took the time to fill that out. We'll be meeting in the Santa Cruz and Anacapa rooms. So Santa Cruz is where the Build a Better Ruler splinter has been over the last few days, but I'm told you need to enter from the other side of the room. So I think via the little hallway that's over here. The intent, again, is that in the morning, beginning of each morning and afternoon session, people can pitch ideas that they want to talk about. So I'll be sticking a Google Slides deck in both the general channel and in the collab day channel, and people can add slides to that to use for making their pitch if they'd like. Talks have been recorded throughout the conference. That is true both in the plenary room and during the splinter sessions. We are slowly downloading them from Zoom and processing those, splitting them up into individual talks. And so we'll be posting those. We're going to make an EPRV specific YouTube channel next week and an EPRV Gmail address to go with it so that we can then hand that off to future conference organizers, and hopefully it will be a nice repository that the community can use. There were a fair number of anti-bird logos as we went through talks. And so if your work is currently embargoed, if you would like us to not post it for any reason, please reach out to Ellen and I either via Slack or via email, and we will make sure to keep it off of YouTube for now. In a similar sense, the posters are being added to the conference website. So if you go to the poster list on the EPRV5 website, many of those already have links to the poster PDFs. I'm also going to try and set up a Zenodo. I think community is the right word. Yeah, okay, I see nods. So Zenodo community for a more longevity approach to keeping those posters around in case people want to go look at them, because there were so many fantastic results encapsulated in the posters. And sometime next week, after I have slept a lot, we'll be sending a feedback form around to the full conference registrant list in case you have feedback. We'd love to hear what worked, what you loved, what you didn't love, things that could have been better. This is, again, an evolving conference, and we're going to try and have a lessons learned document for the next set of organizers. And so speaking of the next set of organizers, EPRV has gone through a few iterations, starting with EPRV 1, 2, 3, 4, now 5. And so, drum roll please for EPRV 6. Yeah, we're going to Porto. So thank you so much to all of the teams who put in applications. They took a lot of care to tell us all about the facilities they had, what the transit was like, what the accessibility was like, if they could handle hybrid things. We had wonderful options. It was a very hard and very drawn selection process, but I'm very excited to say that Porto is our next destination. The plan is for that to be in spring or summer of 2025. Nuno Santos and João Faria will, I think, be leading the SOC for that. So we'll be hearing from them, maybe not soon, but have it in the back of your mind that this is coming. Okay, one more big thank you to all of our sponsors, without whom not only this conference, but also the snacks, the coffee, the breakfast would not have been possible. I think those creature comforts made a really nice addition to our early morning starts. And so can we give a big hand to all of the folks who helped to make this conference possible? And an even bigger hand to our amazing SOC, many of whom have been in the room and at the conference this week, a few of whom are joining us digitally, but we're still a great and wonderful, helpful part of the organizing process. So thank you to our SOC. And of course, this conference would be nothing without the wonderful contributions from everyone in this room and online. So thank you so much to all of you for coming to Santa Barbara, for being part of this conference, for showing us your wonderful results and being willing to share what you're working on, warts and all. I think that's the biggest strength of this conference, and I'm so pleased with how everything went. So thank you to everybody. Also, this conference photo is now on the website in case you want to show your friends and family just how many astronomers you spent the last 4 days with. Okay, with that, thank you all so much. Can't wait to see you in 2025 for EPRV 6, and I hope everyone has a lovely night in Santa Barbara. Thank you, folks.